Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Serrano. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Google Pixel 6, and this device is really solid. It was released in October 2021, about 20 days ago, and I've been getting my hands on mine for the last 2 days. I've been using this device, and I honestly gotta say I've been really just loving the overall build in the hand, the feel quality in the hand. It does have a nice weight to it. It has that distinguished look to it. The design is off the charts. It does have 207 grams of weight, so it will kind of have some weight to it, but not too heavy. It will just be enough for most people. And I don't have the biggest hands in the world. I have like medium-sized hands, so the 6.4 full HD AMOLED fits perfectly in my hand. Every single time I'm using it with one hand, I feel very comfortable using this thing with one hand. So one-handed operation is on board with the Android 12, and it does have some really cool viewing angles outdoors because of the AMOLED display. And this thing is a 19:9 aspect ratio, 1080 by 2340 full HD plus, as well as 403 for the pixels per inch. And it's a very high density display, and it does have 90 hertz refresh rate. But I just want to throw out there that it does have Gorilla Glass 6, not the Gorilla Glass 7 Victus that the Pro model does have. But this device will hold up extremely well when you compare it to the Pro. And one of the reasons I did like this device is because you get it $300 less than the Pro, but you still get a lot of the same features. You do get the Tensor chip, which is going to be a 5 nanometer processing chip, and it will deliver some premium results when you're using it for gaming and the high refresh rates that it does have to offer. I did get it to go to extreme frame rate, which is really cool, right? So the thing that's pushing this thing is going to be the ARM Mali G78 for the graphics. It's also coupled with 8 gigabytes of RAM inside of it, and it is pushing a 2.8 gigahertz clock speed as well. So that Google Tensor chip does hold up well when you compare it to other phones in the same ballpark. Dual speakers are on board, so the sound quality is also going to be very highly regarded as well. So these are just my first impressions after 48 hours of using this device. So gaming does feel really clean, and the battery did hold up for about, I did get 5 hours screen on time with 30% left after 18 hours of use. And I was using this thing pretty much throughout the whole day, 18 hours. So you can't really use your phone for 24 hours straight, right? But I did use it for that 18 hours. I was able to get 30% left over. So honestly, when it comes to the display, it's gonna look really good outdoors in any light that you pretty much throw at it because of that AMOLED display, right? And it's gonna have that really good design, which is gonna be a standout design, very distinguished when it comes to the look, feel, and aesthetics, as well as the build quality. And you can see that bar, that solid bar going all the way back around it and across it. And honestly, I think that bar is one of the things that makes this device different from other devices, because inside of that bar is going to have the fixed 50 megapixel Samsung GN1 ISO cell camera, and it's also going to have the wide angle 12 megapixel along with 4K recording, that 30 frames as well as 60. So if you're the type of person who likes to take really good shots, you're going to be having a really good time with this one because it has the laser autofocus, manual focus, as well as optical image stabilization. And this thing will be giving you the ability to record in RAW. You can also use that magic eraser tool, which does let you erase objects out of the background when you take a shot and things like that. So you just go to edit and you go to tools and you can get to the magic eraser option. But this device, after I've been using it for about 2 full days now, I honestly can say that this is probably going to be one of the most popular devices for the holiday times. And for the price that they're offering this device for, it's only $599, and it's going to be supporting a lot of features for Bluetooth and things like that. So it's going to support aptX, the LDAC, the SBC, and also the AAC as well at 5.2 Bluetooth, which is crazy. The cameras on here are going to be point and shoot every single time. You're going to get that most desirable shot that you would like to take. And let's say you have like a kid who constantly moves around, or you just have like a pet that's always running around and you want to take a picture of it. This thing will even be able to take a clear shot with the motion blur feature that this thing does have to offer. So honestly, I could say that these cameras will stand out because you're going to get all of these features packed inside of it, as well as wireless charging at 21 watts and regular charging at 30 watts, fast charging. So it's going to be pretty crazy. And this thing does also offer the Android 12 as well. So like I said before, you're going to be able to see that motion blur effect, which is kind of known on DSLR cameras, but they did bring it to the Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, and it's going to be a really cool feature to play around with. But the battery life at 4,600 did last me plenty of time throughout the day, where I wasn't worrying about my usage with the battery. As a matter of fact, I did get, like I said before, 5 hours, at least 5 hours, because I did have 30% left after 18 hours of usage. So this thing will have a beautiful display, great performance, excellent cameras. When I was making phone calls and things like that on this device, it was like a HD quality sound, and it was connected to 5G. Most of the time I was using it, it was always connected to 5G with my Mint Mobile SIM. And I did really enjoy using the cameras because you didn't have to go back and edit them or change the lighting or, take another picture because it was blurry or something like that. So most of the time it did capture everything really crystal clear. 7 times for the zoom in, 0.7 for the wide angle, crispy phone calls, crispy clear dual speakers when you're listening to, multimedia, YouTube, things like that. Phone calls, every single phone call I took was really clear. It didn't have any, there wasn't a single time. There was one time where it jumped down the 4G LTE and instead of the 5G, and I noticed that the phone call was going in and out, but I just had to get to a better signal area, and I did call the person back and it was crystal clear, right? But when it comes to the 1080/30, you're going to notice that it's just extremely smooth on this device. So it's very smooth when it comes to the 1080/30, and then when it comes to the 4K 60, it will start to warm up a little bit more in your hand. So I definitely wouldn't recommend doing that for long periods of time, but it does do that. So I just want to throw that out there. But the overall feel in the hand, the design aesthetic of this thing, it just has it just screams premium, right? But you're only paying $599. So it's kind of crazy that you're only paying $599. And the look of this thing with that lime green on top, the black bar somewhere centered along the upper portion of the phone, and then on the bottom it's just that all white with the black border. It's a very distinguished look that I just can't stress enough how crazy Google made this device. They gotta keep making that bar because no other phone in the smartphone world has that aesthetic and look and design and feel, and it's running stock Android, so you're gonna get all the Google features, the Android 12 features on board, one-handed operation, and the flat display compared to the Pro, which is the curved display. But I honestly like the flat one a little bit better because it's easy to get to everything, and there was no missed touches or anything like that. And when I was using the camera for, just panning, it was just super smooth. I didn't notice any jittering, even if I did zoom in. And it was pretty crazy because everything just had a nice feel to it. Even when I was zooming in, it didn't get too fuzzy. It still had some actual detail that you could use and some detail that you could keep, and you wouldn't have to go ahead and delete that. So I honestly like the fact that it had 7 times on video and picture, but on portrait it had like the 4.6. So some weird numbers when it comes to the zooming, but they did map the algorithm perfectly so that even if you did take advantage of the full zoom, it wasn't going to be fuzzy or unusable afterward. But honestly, I gotta say that this thing was pretty cool because it had features like the battery share, which basically you could take earphones or and put it on the back of there and charge up. Or if somebody's running low on battery, they could charge up real quick, and you can have a little bit of battery left to spare. And as far as the navigation, it has the GPS, AGPS, GLONASS, BlackOut, QZSS, and the Galileo and the GLONASS L1. So just a ton of sensors when it comes to navigation that other phones don't offer, as well as a lot of Bluetooth compatibility audio profiles like low energy, aptX, LDAC, SBC, and AAC as well. So I was highly impressed with this thing because it had wireless charging. In addition to that, it had an IP68 rating, so you can get it wet in fresh water, not salt water or beach water or something like that, because the salt water will deteriorate the inner components of the phone, right? Because, you know what I'm saying, it's not fresh water. So like I said, this thing does have an abundance of features when it comes to the camera that I do want to keep diving into. So make sure you subscribe and get notified if you are enjoying the content so far. I truly appreciate you for coming through and chilling with me real quick. But this thing does also feature slow motion mode, a panorama mode, you know, that wide angle camera, which my 4A 5G didn't have. So that was an upgrade as well. But you might be saying, well, C, do you recommend this device as an upgrade for the Pixel 4a that I did have? And I would answer that with a yes, unless you're the type of person who doesn't see yourself spending $6 on the 6, right? But if you have the 3, then I would 300 to throw out there. I would definitely throw out the 300 on the 4a or the 4a 5G or something like that. But when you're looking at the panel, it does have an abundance of features. It also looks really bright, really crispy. The battery life got me through a full day at every single time that I've been using it. And I'm going to do some long-term usage with this device, but the 90 hertz refresh rate when you're scrolling just felt extremely quick, getting from one place to the next. And hopefully they do let us customize the icon shapes on Android 12 really soon. Android 12 is not, you know, it doesn't seem like it's a complete software, but they will roll out some updates. I did get one update so far while using this device, and you know, after getting that update, things did feel a little bit cleaner, right? But they still have a lot more updates to roll out with this thing. But honestly, it's really customizable with the widgets and things that it does have to offer. And like I said, if you're going to be like taking a shot with something moving, it still will be able to distinguish that it's moving with that motion effect, like I said before. So obviously, if you have like a kid who, you know, insists on moving around all the time, you will still be able to take pictures of that kid. And like I said, it's going to have plenty of storage if you do get the 256, but you will run out pretty quick if you take a lot of photos with the 128, because there's no SD card expansion. But honestly, I could recommend this device for pretty much anyone. I'm really impressed with it after using it for about 48 hours now. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the Google Pixel 6. I definitely think this device is a really good pickup. 8 megapixel on the front, which takes great selfies. But subscribe, get notified, join the crew if you're new, and do me a favor, hit the bell icon and hit the like button, and I'll get right back with you later, crew. Peace.